Your eyes are moving. Even when you think you're staring at one spot, they perform tiny, involuntary shifts called saccades. For most people, this is a background process. But for some, the scan is conscious, deliberate, and constant. It's not just looking, it's searching for irregularities in the pattern. This state of hypervigilance is often linked to a shift in brain activity away from the default mode network, the part that handles daydreaming and self-reflection, and towards the salience network. This network's job is to decide what's important enough to deserve your attention. In an anxious state, its threshold for important is incredibly low. A floorboard creak isn't just a sound. It's a potential event. A change in facial microexpressions isn't just a twitch, it's a signal. Deep within your temporal lobes are two almond-shaped clusters of nuclei, the amygdalae. They are not the fear center of the brain, but more of a threat relevance detector. They act like an amplifier for sensory input. For individuals with higher trait anxiety, this amplifier's volume knob is stuck on high. It's not just turned up, the circuitry itself is more sensitive. Research into the bed nucleus of the stria terminalis, BNST, an extension of the amygdala, shows it sustains the fearful response long after a potential threat is gone. This creates a state of anxious apprehension, where the brain is primed to interpret the next ambiguous signal as dangerous. The prefrontal cortex, which should normally provide context and dampen the amygdala's alarm, struggles to get a word in. Its inhibitory signals are effectively drowned out by the amplified warning. This heightened sensitivity leads to a fascinating trade-off, best explained by something called signal detection theory. Imagine you're a radar operator looking for enemy planes. There are four possibilities. You correctly identify a plane, a hit. You correctly identify empty sky, a correct rejection. You miss a real plane, a miss, or you think a flock of birds is a flock of alarm. Anxiety doesn't necessarily make you a better radar operator in terms of seeing the screen more clearly. Instead, it changes your response bias. It lowers the amount of evidence you need to shout plane. You will absolutely catch more real planes. You'll have more hits than a relaxed operator. But you will also identify a lot more flocks of birds as threats, leading to a sky full of false alarms. This isn't just theory. In studies, participants are shown images of faces that are digitally morphed on a spectrum from neutral to angry. Individuals with anxiety disorders consistently identify the faces as angry at a much earlier, more ambiguous point in the spectrum than control groups. Their brain needs less angry data to reach a threat conclusion. This effect is measurable in the brain's event-related potentials, specifically the N170 wave, which is involved in face processing. For anxious individuals, the N170 response to ambiguous, potentially threatening faces is faster and stronger. It's as if their visual system is pre-configured to solve for the variable danger in any social equation, even with incomplete information. Why would evolution favor a system that produces so many false alarms? The answer is rooted in a concept known as the smoke detector principle, proposed by evolutionary biologist Randolph Ness. A smoke detector is designed to be annoying. The cost of a false alarm, waving a dish towel at it because you burned toast, is minimal. But the cost of a miss, failing to go off during a real fire, is catastrophic. Your life, your home, everything. Natural selection operates on the same brutal cost-benefit analysis. Our ancestors lived in environments where a miss was often fatal. Mistaking a gust of wind for a predator cost a few calories and a spike in cortisol. Failing to notice the predator that was actually there cost the ultimate price: removal from the gene pool. So, the anxious brain isn't broken. It's beautifully, exquisitely calibrated for a world that mostly no longer exists. The system that was designed to detect the subtle crack of a twig signifying a leopard now activates with the same intensity for an ambiguous email from your boss. The circuitry that assessed the threat of a rival tribe on the horizon now fires up when you have to give a presentation. This is the core of the mismatch hypothesis. Your amygdala cannot distinguish between a social threat and a survival threat. To your ancient nervous system, the danger of public humiliation, job loss, or social rejection is processed through the same channels as the danger of imminent physical harm. The software is ancient, but it's running on modern hardware in a completely alien environment. The biological cost of a false positive in the ancestral world was temporary, a brief adrenaline surge followed by a return to baseline. But what is the cost of thousands of false positives? When the threats are constant, an abstract financial insecurity, global news, social pressure, the system never fully stands down. The smoke detector is always beeping. This leads to an allostatic load, the cumulative wear and tear on the body from chronic stress. The elevated cortisol levels, the sustained muscle tension, the depleted neurotransmitters. This is the heavy price paid for a superior threat detection system in a world that provides more ambiguous signals than ever before. The advantage in detection accuracy comes at the direct expense of metabolic energy and long-term well-being. It is a feature, not a bug, but one that can exhaust its user.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.